That was incredible, really. Thank you. All right, we've got another speaker for you. It's Dr. Laforest. Dr. Laforest served in Korea starting in 1950. He was captured in 1952 by the Chinese and was shortly after released because, get this, these are not my words, he was too much a pain in the neck. He went on to college and graduated from Plattsburgh State Teachers College in 1957. He taught in a maximum security prison in schools, colleges, universities around the U.S., and even directed the famous Farce Theater Group. While working on his master's degree at NYU, he worked in television for The Jerry Lester Show. In 1961, he accepted a position as a teacher trainer in Micronesia and established the Micronesia Radio Network. He was awarded a fellowship in 1968 and earned his doctorate at North Carolina State University. He was appointed as a congressional liaison, and it was during these years that he worked on the formulation of the Korean Memorial. He presently lives in Essex, New York, with his wife Shirley Cross, where he is a member of the Essex Town Board.
Well, it's amazing. I didn't know all of us were heroes, and you're all blushing. I don't blame you. What I can't get over is these gentlemen in their uniforms. My uniform was a diaper that was filled up most times because I spent it running. It's an honor to be here, have you people. Welcome to the North Korean summer. I remember that one of the important things was to serve as a citizen soldier. All I know is that when my number was called in a draft, it took 25 MPs to find me. I ran and hid in a mine in Lion Mountain. It took another 25, almost as many people as they had on research for our friends, to bring me to the induction center, where I cried a lot. Let me tell you, I really cried. I cried so much that they sent me immediately off to basic training, where I had a chance to become an E1, but I refused it because I didn't want the added responsibility. I also want to thank Mike Farrell and my grandson, Jimmy. Mike has promised me 2 half-price Michigans if I came here in the cold and frozen. I didn't know that Michigans were $3.50 a piece, so at $1.35 I did pretty well. I remember my trip to Korea. It was a pleasant trip. We were on a steamship that lost an engine halfway across, and I had to spend most of the time with 8 other guys rowing to get us there. I want you to know that one of my exciting experiences was I was in the 101st Running Battalion. We ran from the following battles. There's the Yellow River, Chosin, Hill number 5, Hill number 8, Hill number 27, Hill number 35, and Hill number 45. I was a pretty good runner in my day. I passed Manute Bol on a throw, and I beat the Olympic 100-yard dash champion. I was known for my ability as a combat veteran and bayonet specialist. When we were overrun by the Chinese, I found myself out of ammunition, and I immediately put my bayonet on and charged at the enemy, which turned out to be a tree. The interesting thing was my very first bayonet fight. It was with a very short Chinese. I figured I'll take this guy out, but I didn't realize he also had a bayonet that was that long. And we had one of those little stupid silly things like that you only used to pick your ears. We fought tooth and nail for over 2.5 hours, and we didn't get within 10 feet of each other. Now, you've heard all those lies about how cold it was in Korea. It wasn't really cold at all. We couldn't move, but other than that, I remember also on one of my heroic episodes, we were retreating from a battle when a Chinese tank got in my way. I kicked it off the road and continued with my running. Now, I picked up this little thing. It's for Korean veterans. It's a unique medal. It was the only medal from a foreign government that we are allowed to accept as a soldier. So if any of you are here from Korea between 1950 and 53, you can contact the Korean embassy and they'll send you one of these things. One of these things, and $3 will get you a cup of coffee at McDonald's. Now, my uniform was not easy to be found until I was able to stumble across a Chinese who hadn't any need for his uniform. So I was able to put those on. The only thing wrong with that was they thought I was a Chinese and started shooting at me. But they were National Guardsmen, so you know they couldn't possibly have hit anybody, even if they're only 3 feet away from them. I was going to tell you that I learned several things. Let me see. I learned how to dig a foxhole on the top of a mountain with my bare hands 6 feet deep in 22 seconds. What I didn't learn is how to get out of there. I recall also that I got my first Purple Heart because as a mortar man, when we dropped a shell down in the tube, it wouldn't go off. So I looked down the tube to see what was causing it. And it took all my hair and burnt it off. My second Purple Heart was when I cut myself opening up a can of sea rations. I want you to know that it was a wonderful time, and if I had a chance to do it all over again, I wouldn't. Well, folks, I promise to keep this down to 45 minutes, and so I will. I don't want to denigrate the citizen soldiers of this country. I don't want to denigrate the fact that what we had to do was different. In some respects, I sometimes wish I hadn't gone to Canada, but they found me there too. I want to welcome all of you for coming here tonight and this afternoon, now that it's finally gotten a little bit warmer. And I hope that I'll have the chance to be here in another 25 years. Before I go, I'd like to tell you just one story about the meetings of the Memorial Committee. We decided to put 5 soldiers in a row, and one minority group felt they should be 6 inches in front of everybody else. Well, there was a Marine Corps general there, and the final battle was Marines 5,000, minorities 2. Take a look at that statue. I posed for one of them. It's the one that the birds all use. Thank you very much for being here, and God bless all of us. God bless America.
I think we're all a little bit more warmed up after that. Thank you. Thank you for your words and the laughs.